died 4 years ago, and I think of his determination. The way he just absolutely got up every day and went to work and never took a day off. And just the way he was so dedicated to making a better life for his family and just wanting to give us opportunities that he didn't have. And just the way he never made us feel bad that we were poor, even though we didn't have a house. We lived in a shitty duplex and we didn't have a car. He had to borrow someone's car, and we had hand-me-down clothes. He always used to look at me and just say, "You're gonna be great one day," and I don't know, just the determination they had to make a better life. And that's what I liked about him. He could be the poorest guy in a room and he could still believe he was headed for great things. He was something special and he was smart. It didn't matter how much money you had. It mattered that you believed in God, that you believed in America, and that you tried to better your family. And he always said that you don't judge a man by how much money he has, because he didn't have any for 15 years. But you judge a man by how much he works and how much he tries to do good for his family and how much he loves America. Like I said, he had these big books of anatomy, and he always would point at these books and said, "You got to read, you got to study." That's what he was. He was a student, and he always encouraged me to read and study. And they were different than my mom. My dad read history, my dad read politics, my dad read religion, and my mom read literature. So it was a good combination of the two, and we had some family friends who were very literate. There was always books around. That's what I tell people. We were poor, it was chaotic, it was crazy at times, but there was always books. There was all these great books around. And my dad and my mom and family friend named Will Sweeney, he was a great reader. He lived right down the block from us. He helped our family enormously. He had all these books. So I think when I think of my childhood, I think of always being around books. And Dinkytown, which was, 6 blocks away, had like 10 used bookstores at the time. Now there might be one, but there's all these used bookstores, and my dad had books, my mom had books, Will had books. So we grew up poor, but we didn't grow up ignorant. And I always think that's such a part about this country, that you can be dirt poor, but if you're willing to study, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to work, you can rise up. And my dad wanted to send me to whatever college I wanted to go to. I ended up going to Georgetown, but he very much wanted me to have a different college experience than what he had, because he had a family when he went to college. So college to him was work full-time, go to school, study full-time, have a family. He wanted me to have more of a typical college experience, which I did. But I think that having the books all around and being poor, but not feeling poor, not feeling hopeless, not feeling like you're stuck in poverty, like you're not ever going to get out of it. And absolutely education, seeing my dad be a student, seeing him be a medical student, seeing my mom, just absolutely, you got to read tonight, you got to keep reading, and just remembering all the books we had. Like, we just had so many books. And that's one of the things I've always found in life, that there's a lot of rich people who do not read, and there's a lot of poor people who do read. And a lot of poor people are smarter than the rich people because they read. It doesn't matter where you go to college, doesn't matter what your house is, doesn't matter what kind of neighborhood you grew up in. It matters how much you study yourself and how much you better yourself and how much you read. So I think that is absolutely one of the best memories I have of my childhood, is the way my parents encouraged us to read, to study, and to absolutely make something of ourselves, be really good students. And when I was in sixth grade graduation, they had something where they had these literature books for like the best reader or one of the best readers in class, and I got the books, and they gave them to me, and My mom was so proud of me. She's like, I knew you'd be one of the best readers in your class, and just, I felt good. It was a good memory. So there was a lot of hardship, but there was a lot of goodness in my family too, and you got to remember both, because both are real.